Приветушки-плюшки, я Тори, и мы продолжаем проходить Enderal. Решила я сначала с этим чуваком побазарить, а потом уже пойду сдам камни. И там посмотрим, что буду делать. Столько заданий, блин. Короче, с ним очень сложно подружиться, насколько, как я знаю. И это зависит от концовки, поэтому я буду делать все, чтобы с ним подружиться, и буду иногда перезагружаться. Потому что я хочу хорошую концовку. Если я захочу плохую, я просто перепройду игру заново. Вот и все. Так.
They believe that the Black Guardian, once a year, fulfills one of the wishes they write onto these notes. Superstitious nonsense, of course. They might as well send their wishes to the Blue Island Coalition.
Понятно. Одобряет, отлично. Короче, он очень сложный. Почему-то не в одеянии релаты.
Because we don't want to draw any attention. If somebody sees me walking around with you, it won't be the end of the world, but I don't want to cause unnecessary problems.
Хорошо.
First a question. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Blind Daughters? A massacre that took place 20 years ago. It was at the farmer's coast, around midsummer. The farmers had just put out the lights after a long day's work. Suddenly, shrouded figures showed up out of nowhere, with steel masks covering their faces. They broke into the houses and killed anybody who dared to stand in their way. While they merely wreaked havoc on most of the farms, any family with a daughter between 12 and 16 winters was less lucky. All in all, these masked people took 10 daughters that night and carried them away. They were found 1 week later. They lay on the Penny Road, mutilated with their eyes sewn shut. One girl each mile. They tried, but the few farm boys who were there in time stood no chance. These masked attackers were assassins, as deadly as the petrified and as brutal as lost ones. To this very day, no one knows. However, there are theories. Do the names the Black Libra and J.L. Tannerson ring a bell? The Butcher of Ark? Yes. Thing is, in this book he left behind, Tannerson claims to have been part of a cult called the Black Libra. Even nowadays there are still scholars that deny its existence. But according to Tannerson, they see themselves as some kind of counterbalancing power. They make sure that malice and sin, they don't gain the upper hand in this world, and that the scales of good and evil thus stay in balance. Well, this is where it gets bizarre. Normally, the Libra only kills people who have already sinned. Tyrants, rapists, murderers, and so on. Which is also why the attack on the farmer's coast didn't make any sense, and still doesn't for most people today. However, the father has a theory.
Так.
Well, he does have an avid interest in them. Let's put it this way. He has dug up every little bit of information that there is. But we'll come to that later.
Подождите, сейчас. Сейчас отвечу.
According to the father, the Black Libra chooses their sinners through the dreams of some kind of a holy child. The dreams are interpreted by the Libra's priests who extract the names and faces of evildoers from them.
Мракобесие какое-то.
However, the child doesn't just see people who have already sinned. She also sees evil in its inception. Thus, the Libra might decide to kill a boy before he becomes a tyrant, or a girl before she gives birth to a murderer. I know, it sounds insane, but that's what it is. But apparently the Libra fully believes in this principle. The child is omniscient. So it would seem, though according to the father, they wouldn't have just been ordinary murderers, but emissaries of the end. Whatever that may mean. Yes.
Исчерпывающий ответ.
Simple. The father believes that the Black Libra knows the secret to transcendence. This is why he's been studying Tannisson's books like a madman. Especially one in particular. in which he describes the initiation ritual he underwent to become one of their assassins. And I also think that this temple in the Frostcliff Mountains is somehow related to the Libra. Long story short, apparently the pages of Tannisson's original manuscript describing the initiation ritual in detail were forcefully torn out, and the father wants to find them. Right. And I happen to know the only person who might be able to tell us their whereabouts. A man named Collian. Correct. He was also an assassin of the Libra, and Tannisson's mentor. In other words, an unscrupulous piece of shit that did nothing but murder people for decades, guilty, the innocent alike. According to the father, he was also the one who orchestrated the Night of the Blind Daughters. However, that massacre seems to have been too much even for his rotten conscience to bear, because he left the Libra shortly thereafter. He took on a new identity. He's been living as a beggar in the Undercity ever since. I saw him once. It's no wonder that nobody knows what kind of monster he is. He's gone completely insane. Drinks away every penny he gets his hands on. Exactly. If we bring them to the First Seer and I tell him how I couldn't have done it without you, he might consider hiring you for the expedition. That's the plan. Not the best one, certainly, but, all we're getting.
No.
Then we'll need to improvise. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Ладно.
He currently lives in the communes. That is, if he isn't in some whore's bed in the Silver Cloud right now or getting hammered in the False Dark. I'll let you do the talking. It's unlikely that the First Seer will find out, but the more you actually help me on this mission, the more convincing our little story will be. One more thing. Don't go easy on that scum. He might seem harmless now, but remember what he's done.
Ладно.
And remember that those 10 mutilated girls on the Penny Road are just one more page in this man's book of sins.
Так, хорошо. Пошлите за ним. Я вообще хочу камни уже доставить. Эти черные. Потому что я надеюсь, что потом придет Джеспар. Я уже соскучилась по нему. И куда он убежал-то уже? Мне его ищи свищи. Ты где бегаешь? Ищу тебя, тут хожу. По всему этому. Рынок. А они так... Сколько лет они тут будут валяться?
Well, look at that. Our friend has a visitor. Get out of here.
What?
I said, get out of here. We need 10 minutes. Afterwards, you can fuck as many men as you want.
Of course, my lord. At once.
Он вообще там в состоянии, по-моему, он не в состоянии. Чё у него тут? Блин.
Interesting.
Ты уверен?
Yes.
Так, я боюсь, ну
Oh,
ладно.
I'll bring a bouquet of flowers next time.
Хочу убрать диалог.
Never mind. Look at him. Pissed like a rat. A miracle he could even get it up.
Ладно.
I sure as fuck don't want
Да
you to
хватит
cuddle with him.
психовать.
And again, never forget what this man did. He may look pathetic, but that doesn't change the fact that he orchestrated the murder of 10 girls. Innocent girls. Interesting.
Так,
Yes.
не будем это спрашивать.
Never mind. Look at him. Pissed like a rat. A miracle he could even get it up. I sure as fuck don't want you to cuddle with him. And again, never forget what this man did.
Так, ладно,
He may
ты
look
уж видели.
pathetic, but that doesn't change the fact that he orchestrated the murder of 10 girls. Innocent girls.
Не, ну а чё, ему не надо. Эй, вставай.
Who are you? Nylock is tired. Nylock needs sleep.
Мало ли что там ниц. Найлок.
Kalian? No. Kalian is dead. You're talking to Nylock, his shadow. Why do you ask? Who are you?
Так. Чё б так... Давайте, короче, будем жестко. Он же сказал, что типа не забывай, кто он. Все.
Of course. Nylock
Отлично.
understands.
Как с ним... Слушайте, мне будет очень с
You
ним
remind
сложно.
him of Kalian when he still lived. So much anger in you, so much hatred.
Да я бы нормально спрашивал.
Kalian knew this feeling
На
too
самом
well.
деле.
This anger, this cold, rotten wrath, and then the dream came and showed him his
Реально,
calling.
как дед сумасшедший
But he
говорит.
was so blind, he didn't see where the road led him. Only when those little flowers' corpses lay dead in the dust did he see what he had done, what he had become. Now Kalian has been punished. He's dead, and Nylock deserves to suffer
Типа он так
for
сам себя
eternity.
наказал.
How much? He doesn't remember. He always drinks when he has the coin for it. He sniffs, and sometimes, when the people are generous, he buys himself a night with
Я даже
honor.
не... Я теперь не знаю, как вообще общаться тут с людьми, чтобы этот не
The
обиделся.
brandy, the dust, and Anna, they help him forget, help him ease the pain.
Так, ладно, не
Regret.
отреагировал.
No, Kalian had regrets, yes, but Nylock isn't worthy of these feelings anymore. Regret is a pure feeling, as is absolution, but Nylock doesn't deserve purity. So he hates himself, hates his pathetic existence, hates himself for all the suffering his old skin brought upon the world. Why? Because the decrees demanded it, and the decrees don't lie. They never did, and they never will. Aren't you listening? The decrees don't lie. Those little flowers had to die, because if they had not, something terrible would have happened. Kalian knew, Nylock still knows, but still, it broke him. All their pain, their tears, their suffering, their screams. It was too much to bear.
Короче,
even for
запудрили
him.
ему мозги в свое время.
The decrees never lie.
Ага, конечно.
I told you! Because Nylock buried his old skin. The Libra doesn't care about Nylock. Why should they? He's vermin.
Значит, похоронил свою старую шкуру.
Pages. Nylock doesn't know what you mean. Now please go. Nylock is tired and needs to sleep.
All right. Let me
Так, срочно
rephrase my
сохраняемся.
friend's words. You stop playing confused oracle and fucking tell us what we want to know now.
Какой он злой.
And then maybe, just maybe, we'll let you live. Are we clear?
But Nylock just...
Are we clear?
Да говори уже.
Yes, sir. Nylock understands. Please forgive him. So, the pages. Yes, of course, the pages. Nylock remembers. Kalian tore them from Tannerson's book before the world could see them.
Куда ты их дел?
No! I told you!
У него совсем
So
крыша
why are you
поехала.
not listening? Kalian is dead. Don't you understand? He's dead, and Nylock buried him. Oh, no, he's sorry. Please don't hurt him. He will not raise his voice again.
Look at him. He's gone completely insane. I'm guessing all this Nylock talk is a way for his brain to cope with the guilt. He's created a new persona
Сомневаюсь,
without
что
all
он
the
врет,
blood
он
on his
слишком
hands. That is unless
ужасно
we
живет
lie.
и
What?
в таком духе.
Why should Nylock lie?
Типа он вообще сумасшедший.
Why should Nylock lie?
А, показалось. Когда давно ты здесь
How
живешь?
long? Years? Decades? He doesn't know. Kalian had a sense of time. Nylock doesn't.
Страницы гони.
Yes, of course. But tell me, What do you want with them?
В смысле?
You won't be able to read them.
Чё это? Почему?
Because they're written in the language of the Libra. Even Kalian couldn't read a single word of them. Isn't it obvious? Because something else guided Tannerson's hand when he wrote them.
Давай.
Naylock doesn't have a choice, does he? All right, he will do as you demand. The pages, he buried them together with his old skin. He can show you the pages. But tell him, my dam, if he shows you the pages, could you... Well,
Ничего тебе не дам.
Naylock is hungry, Naylock is thirsty, and he has no more coin.
Я даже думать не буду.
But...
Одобряет.
Good. Naylock understands. And maybe you're right. You treat him like what he is. Vermin. Human waste. Come, follow.
Слушайте, это будет очень сложное задание. Кстати, можно... Дайте сразу выучу. Это будет очень сложно, потому что... Призрачный сундук. Прикольно. Так, на всякий.
My sir, Naylock has a question.
Какие еще тебе question?
Your face. You seem familiar. Are you certain that you have never met Naylock before?
How would I know? Maybe.
Может, пойдете? Алло. За этим бегать. Не люблю под город. Не люблю пещеры. Тут проход. Подождите, тут всегда был проход. Да.
This is the way to the top pit. Are you sure that's where we're supposed to be going? I warn you, if this is a trap.
It's a trap.
Not, my sir. Naylock is vermin, but he knows when he has to obey. You can trust him.
I won't. But fine.
Ну пошли. Ну, мы же сюда погулять пришли, да? Можно побыстрее как-то? Фу. Ясно. Блин, что-то даже на превьюшку нечего поставить.
Hold it right there, old man. Where do you think you're going? You're a little too old for digging.
He belongs to us. We're acting under the Father's orders.
Brother Wrath, from ashes to blood, from blood to liberation. I didn't recognize you. Forgive me.
From ashes to blood, from blood to liberation. Let us through.
Of course. Father's blessings.
Father's blessings. Keep going, scum.
Yes, of course.
Ну так себе разговаривать, мне его даже немножко жалко. Но учитывая то, что он натворил, я не буду его жалеть. Даже если он раскаивается туда-сюда, это как бы ничего не меняет. Слушайте. Я просто переживаю, что мне на превьюшку будет нечего поставить. Да пошли! Сохранюсь. То опять сейчас зафакаплю разговор. Даже с Джеспаром было не так сложно. Где же он? Какую серию я уже тут по нему страдаю?
Yes, we're here. This is where he buried the pages.
The deserted tunnels. We should be wary. There are a lot of lowlifes down here.
Если я сяду, вы сядете? Они не сядут. Да... Так эпично и так бесполезно. Давай. Это стоит вообще, ему пофиг. Ой. Да куда вы убежали-то? Ой, их там так много. Ладно, я надеюсь, он Конечно, умирает. Блин, это не то. Я забыла. Господи, там маг какой-то. Ой, это плохо. А он умирает там, да? Надо сначала мага завалить. Так, нет. Все плохо! Зато лежу красиво. Так, учимся на своих ошибках. И эти там пусть как-то без меня, я не буду вставать. Давайте, идите там, деритесь, боритесь. Меня тут нет. Вижу, бежит. Блин, мимо. Да что же вы такие быстрые-то? Вот этого надо, деда. Бежит ко мне. Мага надо, мага. Маги самые опасные тут. Блин. Так, отлично. Нормально, нет? Эй, кто там воскрешает? Ё-моё, жуть. Опять ты? Уходи. Уходи, уходи. Сейчас он уйдет от меня подальше. А, понятно. А чего? А, вот. А почему? А, стрел, наверное, пролетает через него. Что-то с мечом. Осторожно, спасибо. Осторожно. Так, сохраняемся. Сяду лучше. Ну нафиг. Ой, как тут с вами непросто. Столько стрел потеряла на этой каке. Пепел. Теперь не найти. Да меня-то подождите. Пошли уж быстрее. О, мои стрелы. Так, сохранюсь еще раз. А вы можете это на жопу присесть? Свою вонючую. Идите, мне тут вот дело. Первые деньги украсть. А то мне прокачиваться не на что. Ну ладно, хоть ждут меня. Еще раз сохранюсь.
There, back there. That's where he buried his old skin. Please, my sir. You need to just take these last few steps alone. Naylock can't. He just can't.
Прости, но мне все равно.
What? No, of course not. It's just Naylock can't. Don't you understand? To see him after all this time. No, kill Naylock if you don't believe him, but he will stay.
Fine.
Убивай.
You go on ahead.
А я думала, он скажет, типа, убей его или что-то такое. Я уверена была. Вскрысит вот так.
Look for the skeleton. You need to dig.
Don't shout.
Такой забавный. Так, а тут что? Ладно. Не время исследовать. Время искать. Ой. Как он так себя хоронил? О, понтовые стрелы. Кто там? Да ты можешь не пихать меня? Все вы пихаетесь. Ой. Давай, Трейль, это. Ну ты понял. Молодец.
Let's go.
Что так дышишь-то прям? Где? Вот тут. Вот она. Так прям дышал, как будто, я не знаю, как 50 человек зарубил.
Skeleton. I'm not seeing anything. Let's look around.
Угу. Maybe мы не в той стороне просто. Давайте я туда схожу. Или он закопан. Мне хочется все это взорвать. Сейчас. Погодите. У меня есть огненный стрел. Не подходи туда, уйди. Дайте сохранюсь на всякий. Я не могу сохраниться. А, нет, могу. Прикольно. И красиво. Блин, не успел. Так. Ладно. Поищем тогда в следующей серии. Тут уже опять время прошло. Как так быстро вообще? Я не понимаю. И полсерии тут за ним бегала. Ну, ладно, ничего не поделаешь. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, на группу ВКонтакте. Нажимайте на колокольчик, чтобы получать уведомления о новых видео. Ставьте лайки, пишите комментарии и всем пока.